Hey again, we are back in the book of Jonah. We're going to look at Jonah chapter 2, and I have a thought there for you because in Jonah chapter 2, as we talked about in Jonah from the first chapter, Jonah got the word from God, go to the Assyrians, and Jonah's like, no way, Jose. And he took off the opposite direction. But what happens? Well, God said, you're going to the great city of Nineveh or you're going to a great storm. He went to the great storm, but he had to sacrifice himself, either because he wanted to be dead, because he didn't want to go to Assyria, or he just had some mercy on the sailors. Regardless, he finds himself in the sea, in the belly of a fish. And here's how it goes. He goes to prayer. I guess that would take us to prayer, wouldn't it? But it says in chapter 4, he's praying, he said, I said, Jonah is saying, I said to the Lord, I have been banished from your sight, yet I will look again toward your holy temple. In verse 8 it says, those who cling to worthless idols turn away from God's love for them. But I, with shouts of grateful praise, will sacrifice to you. What I have vowed, I will make good. I will say, salvation comes from the Lord. Jonah's prayer is a humble prayer. It reminds us of the humblest of prayers in Scripture. It actually reminded me of one that's noted as King David, one of his Psalms, where he has seen that Uriah was put to death. He has taken Bathsheba as his own, and he really blew it. But he cries out in this psalm, thinking about that time when he was holding that back and not confessing it. He said, when I kept silent, my bones wasted away through my groaning all day long. For day and night your hand was heavy on me. My strength was sapped as in the heat of summer. Then I acknowledged my sin to you, and I did not cover up my iniquity. I said, I will confess my transgressions to the Lord, and you forgave the guilt of my sin. Likewise, Jonah is calling out in prayer to God, asking for help, saying, I was wrong and I need to make this right. He says, I will make good on what I say. And it says, he makes the statement, salvation comes from the Lord. It also reminds me of the tax collector. Remember, there's a Pharisee that went into the temple. He marched in and said, I'm glad I'm not like these or these or these. This is what I do. I tithe and I blah, 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 just blathering on about how he's good and right before God. And the poor tax collector stands at a distance and beats on his chest and says, I'm a sinner, God. Would you have mercy on me? That's what Jonah's doing here. And salvation comes. He said, salvation comes from the Lord. Salvation comes from God alone. For Jonah would not find salvation in his country. He thought he was being a good patriot and taking care of his country by not wanting the Assyrians to survive. He wanted God to destroy them because they posed a threat on Israel. And we're going to talk some more about that in Jonah 2 when I preach from that in a couple weeks. I hope you join. But it reminded me, one last thing it reminded me of, this verse right here from Acts chapter 4, verse 12. Salvation is found in no one else, for there is no other name under heaven given to mankind by which we must be saved. Christ alone is the name, is the person, is our God who saves us. And when you pray that humble prayer, you're no longer fixed on what you want or desire or demand. It's like, God, have mercy on me. That's a beautiful word from this small book in the Old Testament from the prophet Jonah. And I pray that that will be meaningful to you as you think about the goodness of God to pursue us even when we run in another direction. Salvation comes from Jesus. Turn to him. God bless you all.